This is a video for the Barney Rubble syndicate. Now guys, we're on our way home after a very, very successful weekend with Barney. We took him down to the Carolina International where we contested the FEI 3-star short, and Barney was fabulous. Like in my email said, we arrived actually a day or two early, which was perfect for Barney because as we've discussed in the past, he can be a real nervous, anxious, fiery, enthusiastic horse when we first get to a show. So by the time we did this dressage test, I'd actually ridden him 2 times and also given him a lunge. And luckily for us, we were able to school him in the arena the night before. And that sort of just gave Barney a moment to take a deep breath and get familiar with the surroundings. And as you can see here, he went and did a lovely dressage test. He was the very, very first horse to go in a class full of nearly 40 horses. This was first thing on Thursday morning, and I was so pleased with him. I know I've been promising you all that once we get to these bigger competition, Barney will impress us, just because he was very, very nervous and edgy at the 2 pine tops we did in February, but he was fantastic. So he finished 3rd place after the dressage, which is pretty impressive because he was the first to go, and there were 40 horses in the class, and we got a score of 30. One judge had us nearly winning the class on 72%. The other judge had us 5th or 6th or something on 68%. So, I mean, we're slowly but surely climbing up the levels with Barney, and these were the sort of top judges. I've said all along, Barney just has so much ability and so much talent. The hardest thing is he's a tricky horse to ride, but I was very pleased because he sort of was like this in all 3 phases. We had dressage Thursday, the show jumping on Friday, the cross country on Saturday, and each day I got up early out of bed and gave him a ride in the morning and just got him out of the stall and got a bit of energy out of him, and he's starting to really settle in and give me some really top work. We had a little bit of rain on Friday evening, so the cross country footing was decent. We've got a fair bit of his cross country to show you in a minute. And I opened him up a little bit. I didn't go flat tanger, but we were nearly got the time. We were 5 seconds over the time, which is probably the fastest I've gone on him, which was it's good. He's got so much speed and jump, and I've always said that once we get to these higher ranks, he's going to shine through. The show jumping course was pretty tough. Obviously Barney's a fabulous jumper, and it's a wonderful feeling having a quality jumper like Barney. Anyway, I think after this successful run, I've got my sights set now on a major goal would be the 3-star long at Bromont, which I think's in June. Looking forward to this. I think in about a month's time there's another 3-star short at Fair Hill, just down the road from where we live in Pennsylvania. And then a couple of weeks later, we'll find another competition up our way to give him one more run, and then I think he's a real good chance of winning the Bromont 3-star long, just because I think Bromont will be a similar competition to this, where we'll we'll get up there a day or two early and get the energy out of Barney and produce a test like that. But obviously there's still miles of improvement to come. It was just rewarding because we've been working very, very hard on Barney, especially in the dressage, and it was nice actually finally getting a good score and a good result. So the show jumping at the Carolina Internationals, actually on a big grass field, it's can be tricky just because the horses can see the cross-country jumps, and again Barney was obviously the very first horse to jump, so all my competitors were watching to see how the course rides, and Barney's I'd say this is his strongest phase, the show jumping. He came out there and jumped fantastic. Even though he's a bit of a wild man and can get a little fiery, he's so careful. He's very, very sharp, and he did a couple inside turns and really didn't even have a moment of having a rail down or a touch. I think in all of our FEI events to date, he's only ever had one rail down, which is pretty impressive. It's one of the only horses in the stable that we're trying to actually encourage to jump a little lower. It sounds ridiculous, but one of the hardest things with Barney is when he over jumps the fences, and this is one of our better rounds to date. So the cross country, we were sitting in third place before we started, and I sort of said to myself, all right, well let's pick it up a bit. The footing was good, and he was in a strong position, but I didn't sort of go crazy, if you know what I mean. I tried to ride him still fluid and smooth and catching the fences out of stride, but not crazy fast. It's an interesting course at Carolina. There's the first third of the course, which you're seeing now, is around a racetrack on the quite flat ground, and then it gets very sort of twisty and up and down. And I mean, the hardest thing with Barney is slowing him down in front of the jump without his sort of head and neck coming back at me, which is it's a bit of a challenge when he's getting a bit fiery and going too fast, and then I have to balance him and slow him for the jump. Sometimes if you just pull on the reins, he doesn't slow down, just his head and neck invert. So it's a bit of it's a tricky ride where you've got to be quite tactful and not being too sharp with your hands with Barney, trying to gently slow him down without him necessarily looking back at you and getting hollow. So like I said, the time on the cross country was 6:27, and we finished in a time of 6:33. So just 6 seconds over the time. We picked up 2.4 time penalties. If this was like Bromont or a really important competition that we want a top result, I'd be able to make the time. It was sort of there's a fence here or there where I just slowed him down a little bit too, and I didn't sort of go crazy fast. But as you can see, it's a pretty complicated course. It was as tough as courses we've had together, and he's getting some experience and some mileage at the 3-star level, and I'd have to say he felt very comfortable around the whole course. So anyway, we'll give Barney a little good couple quieter days, let him freshen up, and unfortunately he'll probably be a ball of enthusiasm by the time I start working him on the flat. probably give him tomorrow off, and then 1 or 2 hacking days, and then get back to work with his dressage and Monday or Tuesday. So I'm very, very pleased with him, guys. I very, very confident that this is a big time horse. He's a work in progress. He's a handful, but he's definitely worth the effort.